To many of the charitable few, I was cute, but to me, I was an awkward boy, discoloured buck teeth and spiky hair and massively bushy eyebrows, which I have to tell you that I trim regularly as to avoid bumping into obstacles that the average sighted individual can easily negotiate without these droopy windshield wipers. Beneath my beard is a mole that sits a little under my lip, of which I was very conscious as a young man. I'd spend my time facing people with my right-hand side more predominantly exposed as to avoid potential ridicule. Boys at my school would even approach me and ask to examine my mole, and would betimes request a touch or two to satisfy their curiosity, almost to remove any doubt that it either crawled or lived independently of my face. Often the sounds of, "Ugh, it's hairy," could be heard whilst observing a hand at high speed being removed from said mole, as if a child naughtily extracting their fingers from a sacred cookie jar. In a nutshell, I was very much aware of how I looked. I considered myself an ugly child. It's my complete rotten luck that there was in existence at the time a comedian, in the form of a young, blonde, bobbed-haired, full-featured boy by the name of Darren. Puberty had circumnavigated the whole globe and missed Darren. His voice was high-pitched, and as such would travel in spite of any ambient noise level. Every quip or joke would receive what appeared to me to be rapturous applause, as he would lay waste those that were the comedic prince's subjects to be violated by his tongue. Darren one day announced to the class, "Charles, you are without doubt the ugliest child. Your mother must have cursed you and said to your father, 'Access denied,' because no one came after you." The class roared with laughter at what was, in retrospect, pure comedic poetry. On another day in question, Darren had seen me in the school yard, standing by a set of stairs. "Did anybody see Humphreys," that's my last name, "in the playground at lunchtime?" The class perked up and took notice in what was yet to be another moment of comic genius brought to this eager audience by the tongue of this gregarious fellow Darren. He was looking into the girls' playground, saying to himself, "I wish I had a girlfriend, the ugly bastard." Of course I had to laugh right along with everyone else. It was funny. And the truth was, he was right. I was looking into the girls' playground wondering, this is the furthest thing from my reality. A girlfriend. Back in the early 80s, there was a Heinz chicken soup advertisement on the television. There in the first shot was a donkey and its owner. The owner sat at a beach somewhere on a deck chair at the feet of the donkey, eating his soup, and suggested that this was the perfect meal, whilst the donkey was obviously fed up with having to eat thistles. The man eating the soup assured his audience, with his archetypical British upper crust accent, that the soup was perfect because it didn't contain any impurities. However, the donkey was fixated on the need to avoid thistles. I can't quite remember when, but in some class at some point, our dear comic friend Darren asked a question of everyone. "Don't you think that Humphreys looks like the donkey out of the Thistles advert? Yeah, that's what we'll call you. Donkey Thistles." Well, that struck the right comic chord for everyone for the rest of my time at school. I truly believed it. And when I looked in the mirror, all I saw was donkey. There was a young Vietnamese boy called Chancey Halsactor, who had very little in the way of command of the English language, having recently arrived on British shores. We all really liked him. He was in fact quite funny and sweet. Sometime later, I was in an art class, a large room with double doors. In one of these classes, Chancey marched through the double doors of the art room, announcing in full voice and pointing at me, "Horse! Thistles!" Of course, it didn't take long for Darren to cement in the psyche of all the other students that this now was to be my new name, Horse Thistles. And there you have it. I left school feeling ugly and undateable, and every time someone took a photo of me, I longed for metamorphosis and transformation into something or someone I could pity less. In spite of these feelings of doubt about my appearance, my mother used to use quite an unfortunate phrase to buoy me up and lift my spirits. "Come on, son, you're big enough and ugly enough to take it. always said with the best of intentions. Fast forward 10 years, and there I stood in hired wedding attire, looking like a toff, and walking up the aisle came this vision of beauty, my future wife. But wait, wasn't she marrying a horse or a donkey, an ugly bushy-eyebrowed individual with an alien infestation sitting under his lip with bunny teeth? No, she looked beyond this vulgar exterior and saw beyond my eyes, behind my deluded idea of beauty. In fact, my wife said these words at one point when I doubted the possibility of being handsome. "Do you question my taste in men?" Of course, I had to agree. She did have good taste. There wasn't an alternative answer. In the film Amadeus, Mozart's character addresses the emperor and says these words, "Emperor, I am a vulgar man, but my music is not." Indeed, all of us at some point can find a fault with this vulgar exterior, our bodies, and we care not for our own scars. But Mozart was referring to the beauty that lay in his heart, knowing full well the perception and perhaps the actuality of his own vulgarity. Your scars are beautiful, and some have been hard-earned, both mental and physical, and sure, you need to polish yourself up. You know what needs working on if you are truly honest with yourself. And sometimes, no matter how much you polish, you have to be patient, because it takes a long time for other people to see you for what you truly are, a work in progress, which is commonly known as a human being. Some may never see you. They may only ever see the donkey. And that's okay too. Eeyore! I'll see you again.